Hello everyone and welcome to another episode. As you can see, the workshop is all empty because we have a new project coming up. Oh yeah. There you go. Oh, look at these cars. So this is a 2023 Tesla Model 3 and our brand new project. This is so exciting. Oh, I think he went to bring his own booster, but hey. There you go. He's the master of Teslas.
Well, now you know.
Now we both learned something new today. Yeah. Okay. It says it's free rolling now. It's on neutral. What's happening on the side? Shoot. I mean, it's okay. I bought a brand new one. It's not going to get worse. So what's he going to do now is they're going to scissor the entire truck and then try to winch the Tesla into his flatbed, which is a very cool idea. I've never heard about it, but hey, let's see if it works. Huge shout out to the tow truck driver because this was a brilliant move. To get the Tesla down, he came up with the idea to jackknife the big trailer out of the way. And then he lined up his own flatbed up perfectly with the deck. He winched the car straight over from the trailer onto his truck, saving us so much hassle. After that, he just lowered his bed right outside the door and we all teamed up and pushed the car straight into the shop. And it's the next morning and this is our brand new project. It's a 2023 Tesla Model 3. And I really wanted to get into rebuilding an electric car, and I think Tesla is the sweet spot because Tesla, unlike other cars like BMW i4 or Audis, they don't put the pyro fuse inside the battery pack. So we don't need to drop the battery pack just to get access to pyro fuse or do some sort of like serious programming. Now let me show you the car and the damages and let's see what we are dealing with. First thing we're gonna notice is that this wheel has a whole curb into it. So we need to change this rim altogether. I think the tire is salvageable, but this rim is beyond repair. The rims are pretty cheap and you can find them around. These were supposed to have that aero cover, but a lot of people remove these. In the front, we can see this bumper is all sticking out. So as the headlight, I don't know if this is broken or we can just repair it and put it back. I put some power to the 12-volt battery because right now, because of the pyro fuse, this battery is not getting charged up. So we have to put a jumper pack just to be able to turn on the car. And I can kind of also see that I think they removed this front kind of a cover or whatever we call it just to inspect it because this thing is all sagging as well. We need to remove this. And the impact was all over here. So as you can see, the car had an accident right around here. The crash bar did its job. So it crumbled here. It got crumbled a bit here and here. And also a bit in here as well. But luckily we can just open this up and change it as well. This bar all bent up towards the floor piece of it. This is, I think, what Tesla calls a big horn or the horn alarm system. I don't know if we need to change it or we can just kind of patch it up because the plastic piece is still here. And then we have the whole fender right around here. So this is all kind of sagging. It's preventing the door from opening as well. I think the first thing we can do is to open this one up so we can have the door to be opened up and also not to do any more damage or harm to the paints around here and here. As you can see, it's already scratching things up. But I think it's manageable. I think we can actually do it. It's not gonna really impact us in a very bad way financially. Some of the parts have already arrived, just like the fender, the dashboard, and even the glass all the way from the back, which is delivered by Tesla themselves. And yeah, all the parts are coming in, and we should be able to start repairing this car very soon. Also, the glass is all smashed up, obviously because of the airbag. I don't know why this happens with all the cars. I mean, can they not design these airbags in a way that it doesn't smash these windshields? I mean, the whole idea is to reduce repair costs. I mean, I get it, it's a safety feature, but then again, smashing glass doesn't feel very safe, is it? Also, this front hood does not close anymore. It's kind of catching up to these plastic pieces. So this would be the first part I'm gonna remove from this car. So now if we go all the way to the back of the car, we can see that all these areas are actually very nice. No damages whatsoever. It has a very big, nice trunk or boot with a bit of a storage down here. It has an electric operated rear boot, and then we get to the all damages that we have right inside here. So in here, as you can see, the steering airbag and also the dashboard airbag are deployed. So we need to take out the steering wheel and also the whole dashboard. That means we need to remove the center console, as is the standard repair for all of the cars. I feel like this is becoming like a norm thing with all of the projects we are doing. I mean, it's fun and all that we are removing and we are discovering the innards of these cars, but honestly, I think maybe for the next project we get a car with no dashboard airbag deployed. What do you think? Or should I keep removing this dashboard? Like, do you enjoy my agony here? Also, the driver airbag are all locked up. Let's see for the passenger side. No, the passenger side is doing okay. And for the rear passengers, yeah, this is retracting. And how about you? Are you retracting? Yeah. So this means at the time of the crash, only the driver was actually in the car and all the other seats were empty. So the car didn't really needed to lock the seat belts in order to save the passengers. So I got a call from the people who are experts in removing and changing these windshields, and they said they can come today to replace the glass for us. I have a brand new glass delivered from Tesla itself, so it all should be okay. But before doing that, I think it's best if we prep the car, so when they come, they can jump right up to it and finish it off quick. So that means we need to remove this front cover plus maybe the hood. I'll leave that to them to decide. Maybe if they want it, we can do it together. But before doing all of this, I think it's best if we get a list of diagnostics from this car to know what are the things that are wrong with it, and make sure that we don't miss out on any broken pieces. And if we need to order any parts, we can order it, and they can arrive and we can get to the repairs of it so we can finish this project very quickly. So this is a diagnostic tool we can use on most of the cars. It's called Autel. Now we have a lot of different brands with different price tags to do this job, but a lot of people use Autel. I use Autel as well. But this car, Tesla's, you need to have some sort of a converter, which this is a converter of a connection on the rear of a Tesla behind the rear vent to an OBD2 port. So first we need to connect this and see if we can get any diagnostics out of this car. So now we are at the rear of the car, and apparently that port is hiding right down here. So we should be able to remove this cover. Let me remove it quick. So I think this is the connector in question. We need to remove this from here. Well, that was easy. And then all we need to do is connect this to here, I think. Okay. So far, this is being easier than I thought it would be. I said it. I said it. I should have not said that. Oh, God. So technically, if this port now has power, if I connect this to this, we should get some sort of power in here and nothing.
Maybe we should connect it to that port. Maybe that's the mains, and this is just connections for the center dash. So I can see a couple of screws we need to remove the center dashboard. All right, let me go back and read about it quick. Okay, so I understood it wrong, and I'm sure some of you might be screaming to the screen now, but apparently you first connect this to here and this in the middle in here. Okay, I mean, it's having a hard time reading the faults, but let's see if this is gonna, and we are getting out of like no response, so it's not really talking to the car at this point. We have the pyro fuse all blown up, so the car is not really getting full power, it's not turning on all of its systems, so that might be the case as well. All right, so no code is really popping up, so I think it's a good time to finish this episode. We had a good look at the car, and on the next episode we can work on the front end of the car and start removing things and assessing the damage. So thank you all so much for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share the video with your friends and family, and I'll catch you all on the next episode.